I can do my what's it called on a pop-up screen.
So we are live. Hello there on YouTube. I cannot see anybody. I can't see anybody over there. And hello to everybody on YouTube as well. So we'll be setting up in just a moment. So Ashley has joined now. Unfortunately, y'all will not be able to see Ashley and Rajni here, but we will get that fixed and see how we can stream to everybody. But this is our first time doing our PIETalks, so bear with us. Thank you for your grace as we learn. My thing is stuck. I can't see where Ashley is. Okay. I know the back way. I know the back way to do it though, to get her up. So new month, new workout. Well, that's definitely not what we're talking about over here. Edit name. Sorry. How's everybody doing?
I'm good. I just need 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Go ahead. Everybody has grace. We're thankful for that. Hope everybody's having a wonderful evening. Tonight we're going to be talking about Untriggered and what that looks like for us in our society and healing from what tried to break us. Okay, I just wanted to change that name on there. All right, so I am your guest hostess. I am Marie K. I'm the CEO and founder of Purifications International Enterprise. We are a trauma-informed organization here to empower the women in our community with training them, with equipping them with the skills that they need to go back into the community and be there for those other young ladies that might need a mentor, that are looking for something different. You know, me and my son were talking earlier today, and I was telling him, where are the shows that actually have that positive love relationships, and there's really none. And so everybody's walking around kind of traumatized in not really understanding the concept of love, of relationships. Everybody has these ideas, and we see so many shows online, right, that are supposed to be about love, and you have some of these panel shows, and they have certain people on there that will just come and just like get you, through the word, but everybody's not living through the word, and so anyways, again, we try to, or our position is to become a safe place for everybody and not say, hey, you have to abide by this standard in order to be right. So if that makes sense. So I'm also here tonight on our TikTok live, joined by 2 of our alumni and 2 of our leaders. We have Rajani Nicole up top, and we have Ashley Thomas down the bottom, and you'll hear from them a little bit later. Okay, so right now we're going to go ahead and get into the full show of healing old patterns and becoming the new you. as we enter into this new year with clarity and not chaos. And so to know us is to know that well, let me speak for myself. My new year begins in the spring. However, we are preparing, and it is still a new season. It's the new winter, depending on where you're at. And I realize that, this is the new winter. It's a winter that I have never lived through before. And so, happy new winter to those that are in those areas where you actually feel feel that, and definitely want to present this as a safe place, create emotional safety for those that are watching or those might come in later to watch. This is definitely not a place for entertainment. There's a lot of places that you can go that are going to, tickle your fancy when it comes to, you know, um, just the foolishness in our community, the debating, the knocking each other down, all that negative and low vibrational stuff. Well, that's not what this is over here. This is really about community healing, and it's about speaking on topics that we know will help our community. And so, and before talking, I really want to make it clear that this is a sacred space. You're here with us, and we hope that you will find safety being here with us. And we're not here to judge our brothers and our sisters. We don't do that. We're not here trying to fix our brothers and our sisters. We don't do that. Here, you're definitely going to be honored. Your voice will be honored. What you believe will be honored. Nobody will tell you that what you believe is wrong. But what we will tell you and what we will share with you is if your character doesn't line up to what you say that you believe, here we do hold each other accountable. Here is a place where we hold each other accountable because it is true transformation. And true transformation does not happen if we're not actually putting in the work in holding ourselves accountable. Um, and why does this conversation matter? It matters because not only are we entering into a new winter, entering into a new season, but too many people are still dealing with old wounds. Too many of us walk into the new season, the new month, the new years with old pain. And that old pain is actually still driving all of our decisions, whether you know it or not, right? And that's why we stay stuck, or that's why we can't move forward in whatever type of relationship that we're trying to move forward in, whether it be romantic, business, whatever. And so tonight, because to know us also is we just don't talk about the problems. We also love to walk in the solution. And so tonight we want to help release what tried to break you, so we don't keep repeating the hurt. You don't keep repeating the hurt. And so when we say untriggered, let's talk about what that kind of like really means. Because, and we're going to get to Raj and Ash in a second. I promise you we will. But this is really a part of how I am with the young ladies. I teach, and we then have conversations about the things that I'm talking about. So they definitely do have a voice, and so you will hear from them in a second, just in case people are wondering. um, but being triggered, I want us to take that out of being a negative thing. I want us to take that out of being a negative thing. And because really, what that is your body has trained itself to survive. So, for a long time, I thought something was wrong with me because I was always on the edge and ready. No matter what, business meeting, don't matter, business meeting from the streets. I tell people from the Wall Street to people who walk the street, I was ready. Okay. And if you know my story, you know exactly how y'all do it. From Wall Street to those that walk the street, I was ready. Okay. And so, but there was nothing really wrong with me. What it was, my nervous system just learned to stay ready whenever I felt danger, whenever I felt something, something made me feel uncomfortable in that my nervous system. And so automatically, that was actually just protection. And so, but the thing with that is though, when you work with healing, you learn how to um, to work through that and to reset your nervous system. And so now, knowing from how I was as a young woman and all the way through corporate America in my young days to now, and knowing now how to not but to reset because I've worked on resetting. Greetings. This video is about, we're talking about being untriggered and releasing those things that try to come and break us. So thank you so much for joining us. Sapernia Simmons, Cypernia, is that right? Cyper. I don't know how y'all say it, Miss Simmons.
I usually do attempt to say names, but I don't want to mess that one up.
Yeah.
It's along the same lines.
Yeah. And so,
Thanks
thank you so much for watching. We're on 2 different streams, so I'm going back and forth. Thank you for watching on YouTube. And again, we are talking about being untriggered, healing from those things that try to break us. And I was just explaining that, it's not always bad, the triggers. It's just how we have unknowingly allowed our nervous system to try to kind of protect us. And so, moving out of the survival, this is where a lot of people get stuck to, moving out of the survival. And when the danger is no longer there, but we're still operating in survival mode. You understand? And so, for example, what once used to protect us can now actually be our hindrance. And so let's talk about it. When I first got into corporate America, I had not taken any leadership classes or anything. I'm coming straight from, being bowdy. That it's happened to go to school, get myself together, got me a trade. And so now I'm in business meetings making $72,000, gone from homeless, homeless, street, the hood, to within 3 years up the corporate ladder and now sitting at tables with surgeons, doctors, every doctor that was a part of Kaiser Permanente, every department head, plus the lawyers and the attorneys I'm sitting with. And I don't have no corporate. And so now like I was saying, when I feel threatened, not physically threatened, but threatened. What do you mean? I don't know what I'm talking. What do you mean? I don't know what I'm doing? And so now all of a sudden that nervous system, because it wasn't healed yet, starts to come out. So now, even though I'm not back where I was being abused or being molested or into drug addiction, my reactions are still the same. When I'm feeling as though something is threatening my existence, whether it be my intellectual property, because that's what it was now. On the street, it was my body, it was my money, it was, things I had to watch out for. But those off friends, those frenemies, but now going into corporate, unhealed, but making the money. The trigger is outliving, the survival is outliving the danger. The danger is no longer here. Okay. And so being hyper independent saved me at one time, but later I realized it was also keeping me isolated, exhausted, and unsupported, because nobody wants to be around somebody that's always jumping, always, feeling like they're always in defensive mode. So healing is teaching our bodies how to be safe. Healing is now, how do we teach our bodies how to be safe? I want to be clear that healing doesn't mean that we forgot the trauma. Okay. Healing doesn't mean that we forgot the trauma. It simply means we're retraining the body. For an example, healing for me looked like teaching my body that I don't have to brace for impact anymore, right? That I can breathe deeply, that I can soften myself and allow myself to have some peace. And so when we're together, this is why I say create your own peace by rubbing your hands together and feeling your own energy, feeling your own love, right? And then gently pull your hands just a little bit apart, and you should actually feel your own energy. And when you do that, and then you close your eyes and you take a few deep breaths, and when you hold in that stillness, not asking for anything, not looking for anything, just the stillness, just the quietness, that is your safe space. That is a space that you can create for yourself at any given time and moment. And when you practice that on a daily basis, that even when you're in the office or wherever you're at, you don't have to do and stop breathing. You could just know to put your hands together. Do your little deep breath and take yourself 1, 2, 3, and now let me respond. Okay. And I know that I'm not the only person that's had to learn how to unlearn survival. And that's why I did bring Ashley and Rajani in. And I'm going to now want to add them to the conversation. And I'm hoping that y'all over here can hear them. And so first we're going to start with Rajani. Rajani, what's one survival pattern you had to unlearn on your healing journey?
What's a pattern I've had to unlearn on my healing journey?
Yes.
Not taking things personal and not being so quick to be defensive about things. So kind of going back to what you were talking about as far as like your nervous system, the survival outliving the danger. And to know me is to know that I can be sarcastic and with certain comebacks or retorts and things of that nature, but that it was really learned because growing up I was the one that was easily picked on, so I've had to learn how to have quick comebacks. And so now I find that I have found, actually it was brought to my attention and I rejected it initially, but as time has passed, I've began to see that I do that, and then I see it in my family as well. So it makes me like, okay, so to answer your question, not being so quick to defend when I feel as if someone is coming for me, even if they're not, So yeah, and that's active. That's an active one. So
Awesome. Yeah. Was there a moment when you realized, oh wow, I'm reacting or I'm reaching from trauma and not truth?
I'm sure there have been, and I wouldn't say so much like where I'm reacting from trauma, but more like I'm thinking from trauma. So it's like the story that I'm creating about a situation I may be making up in my mind, and those stories that I'm making up based on past experiences, is could be traumatic. But I wouldn't say. I mean, maybe that is the same thing, but to me, it kind of feels a little bit different because, yeah.
Yeah. I really hope that she's speaking loud enough so that you all can hear her. Again, next week we will have this fix where we'll all be on StreamYard. I don't know if we can do both. I don't know. We'll try to figure it out. So, but thank you so much for staying here with us on both platforms. And so for you, is healing a combination of physical and emotional from that?
Yes, because I do feel the physical reaction to the emotional. And honestly, like that's with any kind of like disturbance, if you will. Yeah. Like today I saw something on Facebook, that someone posted that was just super insensitive to, everything that's going on. And like it brought something out of me that I wanted to react to, but I'm like, no, there's no point. There's no point because I'm not going to go back and forth. But it definitely,
Okay.
but it definitely like it's both.
Okay. Thank you.
So.
Good. Okay, Ashley. Wait, am I done with Rashmi?
I don't know if you saw my message. I didn't want to interrupt while she was talking,
yes.
But I have YouTube up as well, and yes, you can hear.
Yeah, I can see it. We can hear. That's when I realized, oh, that's Ashley. Hi, Ash.
I was trying to find it, but I didn't know what page you're under, so I didn't.
Yeah. Okay, so Ashley, how did trauma show up in your choices before you started healing?
Girl.
I know, but tell the peoples.
There was so many. Oh my word. So one of the things that like I still work on to this day is, so I'm the second of 10, and my older sister was gone, so I was the oldest. And there's me, and then I have a sister 1 year younger than me, and then there's a 7-year gap for the rest, right? So I was always the protector of all of them. One of the things that I did for protection was I would smile, laugh, make a joke. Whenever we were literally facing some type of danger, I would calm them by smiling, laughing, making a joke, to like really take their mind off of it, to make them not fearful of the situation that we were in. And as I, got older, even away from them, I realized, later that I continued to do that. Whenever I felt danger, I would immediately laugh or smile or make a joke. And so that came off as like I don't take anything serious,
Mhm.
or I'm unbothered, or I'm not scared of anything, right? That's like how people would view me,
Yeah.
because I put on this I'm like it is literally built into me, right? I've been practicing for a couple of years now,
Yeah.
getting that out of me, because for forever, I mean for 20 plus years,
Yeah.
my initial reaction is to smile or laugh or crack a joke.
Yeah. And so now you kind of touched on it, but let's go back just a little bit more. So how do you make decisions differently now? You were saying that you worked on
So
it. How do you make decisions differently?
yeah, so now I'm actually listening and hearing to assess and determine, the next steps.
Mm-hmm.
Where before, like as soon as I felt any tension, boom, this is what I'm doing, right? Now I'm assessing the situation, and moving from there to I'm analyzing to see, what do I need to do? Do I need to protect? Do I
Mm-hmm.
need to open? Do I need to, relax? What is the situation?
Yeah. And so what changed when you learned how to pause instead of immediately reacting? And I think you just kind of answered that question, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and so peace comes from slowing down and not forcing
Yeah.
control and like we were saying, taking that time to woosah. That's so real. That
Yeah.
woosah is so real,
It's so
and
real.
so needed. Um, so let me ask, with relationships, and either one can answer this or back to back. What does emotional safety feel like in your relationships today compared to before?
So for me, before, I did not have any emotional safety. I didn't trust anybody with anything. I never told anybody anything about me. Like I just had this block up. Even though people could come to me and tell me anything, and I just I got all the plans in the world for you, but none
Right.
for me, right? Where today, my emotional safety, when for those that I do open up to, it just it feels like a teddy bear, right?
Mhm.
It's just like that calm relief, like I'm not in this alone.
Mhm.
I feel safe and covered.
Yeah. Nice. What about you, Raj? What does emotional safety feel like in your relationships today compared to previously?
Um, I also don't know if I've had experience like emotional safety, like the past, like in past relationships. And seeing as I don't jump from relationship to relationship, like I've had more single time than I have like being in relationships. But now emotional safety looks like me being able to like really be me. Being able to say what I want, or not like what I want, but like saying what I need to, being my silly self, and even like to have been in conversations with me and to know that my my conversations are like like trees, and to be able to follow along. And so sometimes when I'm in a conversation with a person who's not naturally like that too, and I'll that okay, I apologize in a way to like, because of how all over I am. When I hear someone say, "No, it's cool, I'm with you," like I've realized that is a safety thing for me. And they're like, "Oh, no, it's cool," or like, "Say what you got to say," and they really kind of give me that permission to either speak and or they like give me reassurance that they're really listening. I have found that that feels safe for me now.
Okay.
Compared to before, and then it's like that's like, oh, you're like, really, kind of like, you see me kind of feeling like that. That's what kind of comes up. So
Yeah. Well, the two things is that it's very powerful when we allow healing to come in and begin to bring that transformation and that change so that we can feel like when they say you feel me, they're like, oh, go ahead. It's not like, are you sure? Are you, because we're still cowering of with that insecurity, but it's like, okay, cool, yeah, because this is me, girl, and so it is a difference, and it is, and that's what healing. When you start working on that healing, it brings that S in your chest. It allows you to see things differently, take in those moments, to take those breaths, to reset, and to say, you know what, it's not that serious. Learn to choose your battles. It's not even that serious, ma'am. I'm not even gonna argue with you. That's what healing does for you. When you're unhealed, you will fight and argue somebody down because it's your ego and you have to be correct. Honey, now I be like, especially online. I'll be like, what, girl? I'm like, go on, scroll. That's not even worth it because I know if I put what I want to say, that's gonna come back and I'm gonna be dragged into something. And right now I'm like, it ain't even. That's not even. It's not worth my peace. Arguing with these strangers. And so I stopped doing that because it used to drive me crazy. I used to be on there, and somebody say something, I have to go back, and I say, and that's that, and then they say something, I'm like, oh well, da, 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 and that's that, because you're just gonna always come in and say something. Hey, baby, hey, Asia, we see you.
Hey, Alicia. And I will confess that it did inspire a post, okay, just not a post on her post. And so, but and even in the post that I did make, was still a sense of like, I said what I said kind of energy, but yeah, as far as like on her post, I was like, I ain't even going.
That's something. That's something.
And because I don't like my posts and my Facebook and stuff, I don't say a lot of like stuff, especially like political, social, or whatever the case may be. Like it's a lot of shares, and so that was kind of the other thing because it's like I'm pretty silent for the most part. So I didn't feel no type of way about actually writing the post because in it I said, if you feel a type of way, feel free to unfriend me. And someone was like, bye. And for whatever reason, the person who like said bye on the comments and like unfriended me, someone I know from high school, for whatever reason, they popped up in my head as someone, and I don't see their stuff very often. We don't engage ever, but for whatever reason, I expected them to like, react or whatever. And sure enough, he did. And so, but anyways.
All right. Well, I'm going to move on because I was getting ready to take us on a tangent, but we're on schedule right now. So we're going to do some actual breath work. So I don't want time for that. So both of you, as well as myself, we know when we're grounded and we're regulated, that it makes us feel a whole lot better. When you can walk away from somebody that has just bounced up and down in your face with all types of stuff and just say, okay. And just walk. Are you done? Okay. Got something to say? Nope. And not because not because we don't want to not because we're losing our voice. You know what I'm saying? I don't want people thinking that because we're not losing our voice, but the ability to choose not to fight the wind. I'm not going to fight the wind. There's nothing I can possibly do to change your mind. I cannot jump in your mind and change your mind, even though I have said what I need to say. If you want to flip that around and turn it around to what, because you're not healed, I'm not going to. I've had my voice, but I'm not going to continue to go back and forth because that's like fighting the wind. So that's when you go regulate.
And so when you know that some people,
It's okay. What'd you say?
when you know that, like when you realize that some people like really thrive on
Yes.
drama, like they seem to like live for it and they just like seek it out and seemingly it's like even more reason to be like, I'm not gonna give you my energy because you're big,
Yeah.
you know, because there are some people who just want, they just want to engage. And
You know,
so
it's actually their nervous system is so jacked up and they don't understand it. And the seriousness about this is that if you don't take care of it later on, like there's scientific things that say people like that can start to go into schizophrenia, believe in what they want to believe and all these other things if you don't really heal yourself. Now, I don't know how true that is. I have not looked into it, but I have definitely heard that. And so these are normally people who have severe trauma and hurt, normally at a young age, and their nervous system was on defense as a young child for whatever reason. Most of the time, those are the people that were really abused, severely abused, as well. They also escape so that they know the young girls that are being raped by their dads and their brothers, and they'll escape. And so that's all our psyche. And when you don't heal and start to heal, um, it sends you off, and the older you get, it's just the worse and the worse that it can become if you don't sit down and that's why taking the time to sit down and to heal, especially once you've been through trauma, is very vitally important. And that's why what we do is even more vitally important, that young women see women of color that have actually been through trauma and have overcome trauma from a cultural lens and understanding the different levels of trauma that we go through just in our own community. And then never mind all the systematic things that we're dealing with. So it's very important. And this is why we have this organization where now we are going to be able to start helping accreditate other young women come in so they can go back into the community and work with one another. Because I know when I was younger and my parents tried to get me assistance, it was hard sitting talking to somebody, a grown white woman or a grown white man. Like, how are you supposed to understand how I'm feeling right now? A little 14-year-old black girl that's the only black girl in school, and I'm getting this and that, plus what's going on in my house with my brothers that I can't tell nobody because daddy will kill, So learning to hold secrets, all of that is shaping my nervous system, you see. And so a lot of people that have not taken to address it, like my dad, like his girlfriend, child, they're in their 80s, they've never addressed their trauma, and it's a mess, and it's not cute. So this is why we do the work. This is why we're here right now, sharing. And even if you're not with us right now, that later on, when our names start coming out all over the place, you come back to TikTok. I don't know if you can see TikTok lives later on. I don't know. You can now. You can play them now because I remember at the very beginning you couldn't. So if you come back, you can look here or on YouTube. It will be here. And so yeah. Anyways, I digress. So let's take a minute and let's do some body-based healing. And let's end with that, because like I said, we like to do and give solutions here. And so also trauma doesn't just live in memory, but it lives in our muscles, in our body, in our posture. So, for example, realize my shoulders were always up. Your shoulders are always up and always tense because your body stayed prepared for something to happen, right? That's trauma stored in the body. So let's talk about other places that trauma can show up. Um, After taking a nap and waking up and you're still tired, that wasn't laziness. That was your nervous system because it never fully rested until we bring healing. Until we bring healing. So, some of the other things that we do is we clench our jaws. And sometimes you won't even realize that you're clenching your jaws. So, everybody who is listening right now, I want you to take a moment and unclench your jaw. Okay. I want you to drop your shoulders, kind of relax your neck. Okay. And now we're going to go ahead and do some breathing. And so I want you to breathe through your nose. Take a long inhale. And then I want you to exhale through your mouth. I'm not going to ask you to see anything. I just want you to close your eyes. Deep inhale, hold, and then release. Put one hand on your heart and quietly repeat, my body is not in danger right now. My body is not in danger right now. This is how we start to retrain our nervous system. This, the breath, the holding, the release, pause, breathe, pause, affirm. My body, what we say, our temple, is at rest. It is protected, it is peaceful. When you're ready, come on back. Culturally rooted regulation tools. Our ancestors didn't call it somatic healing, but they definitely practiced rhythm. They used prayer. They used water. They used movement. They used community. So when I go to water, me personally, I no longer can go to the beach and just go to the beach. When I go to the beach, I have to sit first. I have to pray. I have to do meditation and breath work and let my body soften. That it's not just spiritual healing, but it's biological healing as well. Generational healing, that DNA healing. And when your body begins to feel safe, something else happens. Your identity begins to change. Your character begins to change. That's when we start to become the new us. So trauma created roles. I had to be the strong one. I had to be the fixer, the overachiever, the peacemaker. For years, I was the strong one, the one everybody could lean on. But never once did anybody ask, who's holding me? And that's for so many of us. Now we know when we get around each other that our spirit and our walk is our number one champion and cheer for going on. And so healing also reveals our true self. Mm-hmm. Truly, healing, when we're healing, we're not faking it till we make it. For so long, my dad's fake it till you make it. But with healing, why fake it? And people actually do, but why fake that you're healed instead of taking the journey to really be healed? Healing showed me that I'm not just resilient, but I'm soft, I'm loyal, I'm creative, I'm playful. I like to play. Trauma never let me explore that. Trauma never allowed me to explore that. And so when you're in a relationship and it's trauma bound, you don't get to play a lot. So they're always seeing that part of you that's broken, that's screaming, that's because you're needing something. You're looking for something externally because we ourselves have not yet come to ourselves and understand that love and that relationship of having intimacy with your divine true self before trying to put another human being in the box with you. And so because of that, we end up trying to look outwardly, and this person has to heal us. This person has to help us. This person has to. And then when that person's not capable, then you want to turn on that person and be like, oh, you ain't nothing, and you ain't this, and you ain't that. And men do it, women do it. We all do it when we're in trauma. When we don't understand that the love that we seek, that real true love, that healing love, first comes from knowing thyself. Thank you for the love, Sovereign Voice. That first real relationship is blocking off all the external and going internally and seeking. So with this new winter, this new month, we want to bring new beginnings and no longer taking trauma with us. That also means, like we had talked about earlier, learning your voice and your truth, right? Setting boundaries for yourself. Healing also, we talked about, changes what we tolerate, right? It also changes what we tolerate. When we're healed and you've spent time with true love, in that intimacy with true love, and you've walked long enough in your intimacy to understand that if there's a need, I don't have to go asking anybody. I just have to know that it's going to be met and make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing and it will be met. It's no longer worrying about finances because I've been walking with true love long enough to know that true love can drop me $20,000 out the blue. This happened 3 times in my walk. Why? Normally because a company will mess up and I'll write a letter. Bear witness, you know? And so, it's when you have that intimacy, where you hear true love and you talk to true love and true love is guiding you, and then pseudo love comes around, you don't have time to tolerate it. Now, sometimes pseudo love looks really good, smells good, looks good, and all of that. But pseudo love cannot keep up, right? It cannot keep up the facade. And sooner or later, if you're attached to true love, you'll see it and you'll say, I'm not going down that road. Whereas the younger, the hurt me, the one that didn't understand love, the one still looking outside thinking it was all out there, would have went on the road, went on the journey, because I had to prove that I was a good woman. I had to prove that I was this or I was that. Never mind having the other person prove anything. But I was too busy wanting to prove so that you would stay. You can do all the backflips that you want, buy all the Sean John and Nikes and this and that. And if they broken, it ain't gonna stay. They broken, it ain't gonna stay. You just wasting your money. Been there, done that, right? So let's get ready to close. Healing did not make me colder. Healing doesn't make us colder. Healing makes things clearer. I no longer have to explain my boundaries. When we're healed, we don't have to explain our boundaries. We just live by them. Right? It's a difference. We just live by them. And people that are committed to misunderstanding me are none of my business anymore. Let them misunderstand. So we have 6 minutes left. Let's go ahead and put our hands on our chest one more time. Let's do some breathing. If during this time with us tonight, your chest softened a little bit, you heard something we were saying, you were like, yeah, I can relate to that, and your shoulders came down a little bit, that's the beginning of healing. If something that we said resonated with you and you felt as though you could have been up on this platform saying the same exact thing, that's the beginning of healing. If you realized that you're not broken, that's the beginning of healing. I want to let you know, from our hearts to yours, that you are not behind, you are not damaged, you are becoming. You are becoming. And you don't have to heal alone. You don't have to heal alone. There is community being built for people just like you, for people just like us. And we are that community. We are the team of Purifications International Enterprise, otherwise known as PI. Come get a piece. On Monday nights, we'll be doing this more formally like this, our PIETalks. If you have good medicine for the community and you see our advertisements, what we're doing every month, they're already out there. Our next one is on the 24th, excuse me, we have another event. But anything that we're doing that you see, and you say, hey, I can talk to that, send me a DM, send Raj, send Ashley, reach out to us. This is here for the community as well, for us to spotlight you and to share the medicine that you have. And so as we prepare to close out, again, we thank you for your time. Ashley and Rajani, I thank you for your time. It is always a pleasure being with y'all. And if you don't know, you can work out with us Monday through Friday at 7:15 right here on TikTok. And right now we're doing 40 days. Today was our first day, and we're doing 5 abdominal chair exercises. Okay, 5 or 4.
And hurt your legs.
We're doing 4. And so at 7:15, and I also see baby girl Josephina is also a member of our team, and we see she just popped back in as well. So yeah, until next week, unless you get with us on our fitness in the morning, be good to each other. Know that you are beautifully, wonderfully loved. There is so much power inside of you, and we are here. We are here to help you ignite that fire. And if your fire is already ignited and you just want to get in a group of women that are doing positive things and building business and micro business and helping one another and getting ready to get the bag for our community, join us. All right. From our hearts to yours, have a beautiful rest of your evening, and thank you for being with us. Good night. And thank you as well for being with us here on YouTube. And as you heard, we have many things going on, and we look forward to getting our YouTube channel up, running, and yes, and all of those good things. Yes, I do have clothes on. I just realized, oh, I don't know if y'all can see, or if you're just seeing this all night long on my YouTube. Anyways, I am Marika Michelle. Thank you so much for being with us. Until next time, from our hearts to yours, be blessed.